it's over, so we put our hands up.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Anna Beach back with another reaction video, and today we got everything we know about Asta anti-magic is wrong. Black Clover. Man, like I said in my Asta video, if you guys remember, I said that anti-magic is complicated. So I found the video that explains anti-magic. I think it explains, it's a blind reaction, I don't know. I'm talking too much, let's talk lean into it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Clover here, and wow, it's been a long time. 28 chapters to be exact since the last time I talked about a Black Clover chapter. That's 28 weeks on top of the mini breaks that Black Clover has been having since I've been away. Now, as I've been away, I've been reading every single Black Clover chapter behind the scenes, and many times. And during my break, I have so many bottled thoughts that I need to release.
Manga spoilers.
So much has been happening since I've been away, and I missed a lot. But there's something that I've caught in the past few chapters, in the recent ones, that's been extremely controversial, and I couldn't bite my tongue on this. I know I needed to make a video about this eventually, because Asta did something in the recent chapters that's a big game changer, and it confused a lot of people to this day. And the thing that I'm talking about is Asta sharing his anti-magic power that transpired in chapter 367. By using the power of his Demon Dweller's sword, he was able to share the anti-magic with the rest of the Black Bulls. The reason why this is so controversial because, number one, it adds mysteriousness to anti-magic properties itself, and also, how is anti-magic able to be shared to people that use magic in this full of mana? And honestly, it's a fair question to ask, because you will be thinking, wouldn't the anti-magic be destroying their bodies since they're full of mana and magic? Well, not necessarily.
I don't think anti-magic even is magic.
Which is something that Asta has been doing since the beginning of the series, the moment he obtained his anti-magic weapons. But before I break that down, we must explain the power of the Demon Dweller's sword itself, and everything we know so far about anti-magic. Now, back in chapter 269, where we got Liba's backstory, we also got the origins of anti-magic. We find out during the moments when Liba was sealed into the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire by Lasita, Asta's mother. The whole time while he was in there, filled with so much rage and hate, he kept cursing devils, just waiting for the day to take his revenge out on all the devils in Lucifero. Even though Liba was monolith, by doing this though, he was able to obtain power and manifested the power of anti-magic, the power to cancel out magic. Now, we know that the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire used to be a 4-leaf Clover Grimoire, which was a—
Come to think about it, anti-magic don't even have an official name. Like, that was just a name that, like, the mages was giving it and Asta gave it. Even leave it, like, we don't know what it's actually called.
Obtained by Licht before he fell into despair. And we also know what was left inside the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire 500 years ago also got corrupted as well. The first weapon we saw come out the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire when Asta was chosen was the Demon Slayer's sword, which makes sense why it was corrupted by anti-magic by default. The 5-leaf Clover Grimoire had to be chosen by someone who was monolith, and Asta was the perfect candidate. 500 years later, immediately we find out with his anti-magic weapons, he's able to nullify magic power by cutting it or deflecting it. When we saw Asta obtain other swords, for example the Demon Destroyer sword, we saw that each sword have their own unique abilities. The Demon Destroyer sword is a cause and effect sword, which absorbs and destroys the effects of magic. Another example is when Asta is using his Demon Slasher sword Katana, he's able to cut whatever he chooses, and it will never cut what he wants to protect. Now, with the anti-magic Demon Dweller's sword, this is the most mysterious one out of all his swords, and probably the most confusing one, because this is the only sword that he's able to use magic into an anti-magic sword. The first time we saw this in the dungeon arc when Asta was able to use Noel's water magic within his anti-magic sword, using a water magic slash against Mars, which showed that this sword has the power to absorb magic power and also use that exact same magic as an attack. We then see this again when Asta was fighting in the cave. His Demon Dweller's sword was able to absorb ghost mirror magic, and he was able to use that as an attack as well. And when we saw these two moments from Asta, it started to make sense the moment we saw Licht use the exact same ability against Yuno when he used Spirit Storm, which was in chapter 156, and it was stated by Raya that this is one of the abilities of the Demon Dweller's sword. We also saw another ability for this sword is that when Licht absorbed the magic from all the Elves tribe, and he was able to summon and create an ultimate magic spell, which he tried to defeat Zagreus with, but it didn't work. We find out that the reason why this sword is so unique compared to all the other swords is that the Demon Dweller's sword can bestow and store up magic for those who have ties to each other. It's a blade that connects others. Now, I want you guys to focus on the word bestow, because the meaning of this is actually important, because this word also means give. So that means that the demon dweller's sword is able to give out abilities, not just absorbing the abilities, which makes sense what happened in chapter 367. Asta bestowed anti-magic to others. Now you would say, okay, that makes sense, but wouldn't it make more sense if Asta bestowed anti-magic to people that are monoliths and not people with mana? As we clearly saw, when Asta gave Julius the demon dweller's sword, it was absorbing his magic while he was holding the sword. So how does that make sense? Back in chapter 97, we get this narration from the Witch Queen, and we find out that anti-magic is constantly flowing through Asta and his swords. The important thing to notice here is that she states that Asta has been unconsciously emitting and shutting off that power. Now peep this, Tabata purposely showed panels of Asta going through Fenrir's spatial magic portals with his sword, and his spatial magic wasn't getting destroyed even though Asta is going through the spatial magic with his sword. It shouldn't be possible for Asta to go through a magic portal holding a anti-magic sword. It should disrupt it. That means the Witch Queen is right about Asta, that he is unconsciously turning on and turning off that power in the past. Because clearly we saw when he was fighting Langris, he can cut through spatial magic, but clearly we see a display that Asta is able to cut spatial magic and decide not to cut it. Asta went to the land of the rising sun. He mastered the art of Ki, which is Zetten, and he was able to utilize his anti-magic power in different ways, having a better control of it and also amplifying his own anti-magic power. Coming back from that country, Asta is so strong to the point where when he came back to fight Damnatio as a paladin, Asta with his Demon Destroyer sword was able to passively destroy Damnatio's scale magic just by his sheer presence and control of anti-magic. It showed that Asta has evolved, even though Damnatio even stated this. In the past, we saw that an inexperienced Asta was able to use anti-magic unconsciously, though emitting and turning on and off that power. His complete unmastery of anti-magic was also displayed again when he was fighting with Noct. When Noct were using Kid's Playground, his anti-magic was creating an interference with the spell. You can see on this panel Asta's face. You can see how stressed he is because he knows he is interrupting the magic spells that Noct had created for him and Yami. Now it's been a year and 3 months since this fight, and since then, Asta has went to the land of the rising sun. Now fully understands the full foundation of using Ki by learning Zetten, which corresponds and goes hand to hand with the way he uses anti-magic, because he's using Ki by letting the anti-magic flow and circulate through his body. Given all Asta's training and understanding the full foundation of Ki and anti-magic, and also learning the power, the true power of the Demon Dweller sword, knowing that it can bestow, which gives out power, and we know that Asta has been emitting unconsciously, shutting off and shutting on that power. Now he's in a position where he's consciously shutting on and shutting off that power, which now he's in a position to give out anti-magic without destroying his comrades. Just like what Ryu stated, anti-magic is uncharted territory. It means that this power in the story is still yet to be fully explained, and everything we knew about anti-magic is wrong. Liba created a power that he fully didn't understand, which means that anti-magic is more than just nullifying and canceling out magic. It's a lot more complex than we thought. Asta has been constantly evolving right in front of our eyes. We know that now he can put anti-magic into any object he chooses, and now into people, which is still crazy to think about, even though it's really bittersweet.
If I gotta compare it to something, it gotta be like spirit energy and what it was called in Yu Yu Hakusho. Damn, I forgot what it was called. But spirit energy is like, let's say spirit energy is like magic. But what Sensui was using is something different in total. Like, it's way stronger. It's still energy, but it's different. But with Black Clover, it's not energy at all. Well, it's not magic at all. It's something entirely different, if that makes sense.
That Black Clover is ending, the evolution of Asta's power is not done yet. And even though I've been away for a long time, I'm not done yet telling you guys to subscribe to the channel with notification bells on and leaving a like on the video. And now that I'm back on YouTube, and I miss talking to you guys a lot, and I know you guys miss me too. You guys have been writing me every single day, either on Discord, Twitter, YouTube comment section, just asking, am I coming back to YouTube? Where have I been? And it's better for me to address all of that in a quick live stream one day. So until then, and wow, it's been a long time since I said this, but you guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed. And I'm out.
I like this planner. But that's the end of this reaction, man. If you like it and want to see more of Asta reactions, anything else, man, that's dealing with anime, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Animation. I'm signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.